city, where the people they talk no pit. 98.5 on your dial, Emirate radio, feel the vibe. Now the sound of the street with the carry. Joy and truth, we know they worry. From morning gifts to nighttime flow, every voice matter, everybody know. Every Emirate radio, 98.5. The voice of the people we they come alive. Your story, your sound, your melody. Emirate radio, 98.5. The voice of the people we they come alive. Your story, your sound, your melody. Open door. Culture, music, news and more. Open mic, we open door. If not your voice, we go amplify. Emirate radio, make you testify. Emirate radio, make you testify. On Emirate radio, 98.5. The voice of the people, we they come alive. Your story, your sound, your melody. Emirate radio, 98.5. The voice of the people, we they come alive. Your story, your sound, your melody. Your tempo. Emirate radio, 98.5. The voice of the people. Donny on the beat.
Politics and business to society and culture. We bring you sharp insights, highlights, and perspectives to start your day informed and empowered. This is Daily Rundown on Emirate Radio 98.5 FM, your half-hour guide to the top stories from today's newspapers. Join us weekdays and weekends, 7 to 7:30 a.m. for a news review that is concise, clear, and absolutely essential. Daily Rundown. Fast, fresh, and ready to keep you ahead of the edge. Feel the clarity, feel the connection. Emirate Radio 98.5 FM.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Kwara. Good morning, Ilorin. This is Emirate 98.5 FM, and you're tuned into the Daily Rundown, the program where we give you insight into the stories making headlines in the Nigerian newspapers. My name is Oluwadolapo Bamigbe, and this morning I am not alone in the studio. Good morning, Omotolani.
Good morning, Oluwadolapo. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, our dear listeners. You're tuned into Emirate Radio 98.5 FM Ilorin, and you're on the program The Daily Rundown.
Alright, this morning with me I have the Punch newspaper and the Guardian newspaper.
From my end, I'll be walking us through Daily Post and Vanguard.
Alright, starting with the Punch newspaper this morning. Military gets 2.3 trillion naira special funding amid security crisis.
Starting with Daily Post, I have negotiations going on well. US insists as Iran denies any talks for peace.
Kwankwanso, ADC gears up for 2027 showdown with Tinubu.
Tension in Ogoja as angry women storm police station, demand custody of mother suspect.
Violence erupts in South Africa over alleged Igbo king coronation.
Nigeria's taking front role in satellite economy, says Nigerian government.
We're still on the Punch this morning. 2027, 2 ministers resign to contest elections.
Tinubu appoints new CAC chairman, nominates 7 NPC commissioners.
INEC okays Wike PDP bloc, court backs Turaki.
Nelfon clears air on increase in stipend from 20,000 naira monthly.
Mob attacks Cross River Police Station over murder suspect. Details in the Punch newspaper.
Kebbi government orders political appointees seeking 2027 officers to resign by March 31.
Now moving into the Guardian newspaper. Ministers develop cold feet over state politics, delayed endorsements.
Now on Vanguard, higher violence over King installation. Federal government urges Nigerians in South Africa to maintain low profile.
PDP crisis. More leaders dump party as Makide's camp heads to Supreme Court.
U.S. lawmaker wants overplay to Kaduna killings.
ADC Lords Kwankwanso's defection as game changer.
Finally from my end, I have U.S. lawmaker wants overplay to killings.
And finally on the Guardian newspaper, FG apps on epidemic preparedness, resilient health system. Alright, about now we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be diving into the details of the stories. Please stay with us. Alright, welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is the Daily Rundown on Emirate 98.5 FM. Do you know that you can also watch us live on all our social media platforms at Emirate Radio 98.5 FM, or you can also visit our website at www.emirateradio.ng. Now moving into the details of the stories, and starting with the Punch newspaper. Kwankwanso ADC gears up for 2027 showdown with Tinubu. At the heart of the unfolding drama is a fresh push by 3 of the opposition's most formidable figures, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi and Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso, to close ranks under a common platform and mount what could become the stiffest challenge yet to President Bola Tinubu. The trio, who ran separately in the 2023 presidential election, collectively secured over 15 million votes but fell short individually, allowing Tinubu to clinch victory in a tightly contested race. Now, under the emerging coalition talks anchored on the African Democratic Congress, there is renewed optimism among opposition stakeholders that a unified front could alter Nigeria's political trajectory. But beneath the optimism lies a complex web of competing ambitions, ideological differences, and entrenched political structures that could either make or mar the alliance. The 2023 presidential election is the basis for the current coalition calculations. The Independent National Electoral Commission declared Tinubu the winner with a total of 8,794,726 votes. Defeated Atiku, who received 6,984,520 votes, and Obi, who secured 6,101,533 votes. Kwankwanso finished with 1,496,687 votes. Well, for more details into the story, please check the Punch newspaper with the headline Kwankwanso ADC gears up for 2027 showdown with Tinubu.
Negotiations going on well. U.S. insists as Iran denies any talks for peace in Daily Post. The detail says, the White House has maintained that the United States and Iran are engaged in peace negotiations, while House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stated on Monday that the remaining elements of the Iranian regime are increasingly eager to end the destruction and come to the negotiation table while they still can. She emphasized that despite the Iranian regime's public posturing, with the media's false reporting. Discussions between the US and Iran are ongoing and progressing positively. Iranian officials have consistently denied being in formal negotiations with the United States, while Donald Trump asserts that Washington and Tehran are having very good and productive conversations aimed at concluding the conflict. Ismail Baqi, spokesperson for the Iranian Foreign Ministry, reiterated on Monday that Iran has not engaged in any direct talks with the US and that the US proposals to end the hostilities are excessive and unreasonable. For details, please grab the Daily Post.
Military gets 2.3 trillion naira special funding amid security crisis. Military and paramilitary agencies received a total of 2.3 trillion naira in special intervention funding between October 2023 and September 2025, according to the latest Federation Account Allocation Committee document. The ledger shows the money was released in 23 equal tranches of 100 billion naira each under the Ledger of Special Intervention Program for Nigerian Military, February 2026. The records from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation Account Department indicate that the intervention fund operated as a transit account, with each 100 billion naira receipt followed by a matching 100 billion naira disbursement, leaving no balance after payments were made. The document opened with a brought forward balance of 100 billion naira as of October 19, 2023. On the same date, the account recorded the first transfer, described as transfer from September 2023 allocation 1/10 worth 100 billion naira. That inflow was followed on November 8, 2023 by a payment of 100 billion naira to the military. Well, it's a long way this morning, but for more insights, please check the Punch newspaper with the headline Military gets 2.3 trillion naira special funding amid security crisis.
Tension in Ogoja as angry women storm police station, demand custody of mother suspect. The data says thousands of women and youth took to the streets of Ogoja on Monday in a protest over the killing of a young woman, demanding that the police release the suspect to face mob justice. The demonstrators, drawn largely from Wang 1 and 2 communities and other parts of Ekajuk clan, marched to the divisional police headquarters in Ogoja, chanting war songs and expressing outrage over the incident. The protesters insisted that the suspect, 35-year-old Malim Sunday Ejo, should be handed over to them to suffer the same fate allegedly meted out to his girlfriend. The victim, identified as 26-year-old Mochi Lucy Igu, was reportedly attacked at a farm in Wang village. Sources said the suspect allegedly lured her to a nearby stream where he inflicted fatal machete injuries. Police had earlier arrested the suspect and subsequently transferred him to the State Criminal Investigation Department (SCID) in Calabar for further investigation. For further details, please check the Daily Post on this headline: Tension in Ogoja as angry women storm police station, demand custody of mother suspect.
2027, 2 ministers resigned to contest elections. With today's deadline for cabinet members and appointees of the government seeking elective offices to resign, expectations mount over who will step down to pursue elective offices ahead of the 2027 elections. The directive mandating political appointees to resign at the latest by that date has triggered intense speculation within government circles and across the political landscape. So far, the resignations of Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga and the Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs Yusuf Sununu have heightened the sense of anticipation. The duo resigned from President Bola Tinubu's cabinet to contest elective positions in the 2027 general elections. Tuga, who hails from Gamawa, local government area of Bauchi State, resigned on Monday to pursue the governorship of Bauchi State, the ministry's spokesperson Kimebi Ebemfa confirmed. In the official statement, Tuga's special advisor on media and communication strategy, Al-Qasim Abdulkadri, had disclosed the minister's intention, stating the minister is interested and aspires to run for the governorship seat of Bauchi State. For more insight, please check the Punch newspaper.
Nigeria is taking front role in satellite economy, says Nigerian government. The Nigerian government, through the Nigerian Communication Satellite NICOMSAT Limited, has announced that Nigeria is rapidly advancing in its involvement in the global space economy. Mrs. Jane Nkechi Egatin Idehe conveyed this information during the second Nigerian Satellite Week. This event brought together industry leaders and government institutions in the nation's capital, which, according to the Director General, reaffirmed Nigeria's collective dedication to leveraging the potential of space for national development. Under the theme, Annexing Space for an Extraordinary Nigeria, Mrs. Egatin Idehe emphasized that Nigeria's decision to invest in the space economy is not just a technological achievement, but also a statement of Nigeria's readiness to engage in and influence one of the most significant industries of the contemporary era. The global space economy is experiencing its most significant transformation in decades, propelled by the commercialization of low Earth orbit (LEO), the expansion of satellite broadband, and the increasing acknowledgement that space-based infrastructure is essential for national competitiveness, she stated. For details, please grab the Daily Post.
Violence erupts in South Africa over alleged Igbo king coronation. Violent unrest has broken out in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa following protests against the controversial coronation of an Igbo traditional ruler, with demonstrators touching vehicles and looting shops owned by foreign nationals. The protest, led by members of Action SA alongside traditional leaders and residents on Monday, were initially staged in opposition to what organizers described as a violation of the province's sovereignty, constitutional order, and recognized traditional leadership structures. However, tensions escalated rapidly in Gumpo City, where the protest turned violent, forcing police to intervene and disperse crowds. Video evidence shared on X showed protesters setting several vehicles and buildings allegedly belonging to foreigners on fire, while security forces intensified efforts to restore order. Similarly, CDR Africa disclosed that the unrest reflected growing outrage over the coronation, with foreign-owned properties becoming primary targets. The situation further deteriorated, with Enka reporting that the violence turned deadly following a stabbing incident allegedly involving Ethiopian shop owners. For more details, please check the Punch newspaper.
NELFON clears air on increase in stipend from 20,000 naira monthly. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFON, has debunked speculations claiming it has increased its monthly upkeep allowance for student beneficiaries. In a statement on Monday, they clarified that the approved monthly stipend remains 20,000 naira. There have been reports that it was increased to 25,000 naira. The statement, signed by NELFON's Director of Strategic Communications, Oseyemi Oluwatuyi, read: "The approved upkeep allowance remains 20,000 naira monthly and not 25,000 naira as been reported." NELFON advised students to ignore unverified claims and confirm on their official communication platforms for accurate updates. For details of this story, please check Daily Post on this headline: NELFON clears air on increase in stipend from 20,000 naira monthly.
And now we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, the Daily Rundown continues. Please stay with us.
Headlines move fast and opinions move even faster. Clarity matters. Welcome to Standpoint with Bukola Omoshewo, the program where we go beyond the surface to examine the issues shaping our world and our nation. From governance and policy to controversial political debates, we ask the hard questions, challenge competing narratives, and provide a platform for informed, balanced discussion. No sensationalism, no bias, just thoughtful analysis and meaningful conversations. Join Bukola Omoshewo every Monday to Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. on Emirate Radio 98.5 FM. Standpoint, your take, your voice, your nation.
Every society has a heartbeat, and on the pulse, we listen closely. Every Tuesday from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., Join us as we take on the issues shaping our communities, the norms we live by, the problems we face, and the societal ills we can no longer ignore. From culture to conversation, from daily challenges to national concerns, we dig deep, ask the questions that matter, and spark the dialogue that leads to real change. Tune into The Pulse, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on Emirate Radio 98.5 FM, Nigerian's premium radio experience. The Pulse. Feel it, understand it, change.
Alright, welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is the Daily Rundown on Emirate 98.5 FM. Also, do note that you can join the conversation via studio lines on 0705 690 2827, 0705 690 2827, or 0903 191 7355. 0903 191 7355, or you can also send us a message via WhatsApp on the line 0913 415 8376, 0913 415 8376. Now moving into the stories. PDP crisis, more leaders dump party as Makinde's camp heads to Supreme Court. The detail says the trouble with the People's Democratic Party (PDP) is far from over, despite the conclusion of its national convention at the weekend, as more leaders and high-profile members continue to resign from the party. Despite recognition by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the validity of Sunday's convention, organized by a faction backed by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, is now before the courts as a rival bloc backed by Governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and Bala Mohammed of Bauchi intensifies its legal challenge to the party's leadership. The dispute, which has moved beyond internal party wrangling, is now a constitutional issue, one that will determine not just who leads the PDP, but also test the limits of judicial intervention in party affairs as tensions deepen over legitimacy and control of party structures. In a statement by Ini Ememubong, National Publicity Secretary of the factional PDP National Working Committee aligned with Makinde, the group said it had taken the matter to court, including filing processes at the Supreme Court to resolve all issues surrounding the party's leadership and the disputed convention. It also accused the Wike faction of proceeding with the convention despite ongoing proceedings at the Court of Appeal, Ibadan Division, where parties had already agreed on how the matter would proceed. For more insight, please check the Guardian newspaper.
Still on Daily Post, I have Tinubu appoints new CAC chairman, nominates 7 NPC commissioners. The detail says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Ibrahim Ida as the chairman of the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC) and nominated 7 individuals to fill vacant commissioner positions at the National Population Commission (NPC). The appointment was disclosed in a statement on Monday by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. According to the statement, the nominations for the National Population Commission are subject to confirmation by the National Assembly. Ibrahim Ida, who hails from Katsina State, holds a master's degree in Banking and Finance from the University of Ibadan and a Bachelor of Laws (LLB) from the University of Abuja. He previously served as the Commissioner for Finance for Katsina State and as a permanent secretary in the Federal Civil Service before his election to the Senate in 2017 to represent Katsina Central. For details, please check Daily Post.
Federal government apps on epidemic preparedness, resilient health system. About $15 trillion of global GDP was wiped off because of the demand and supply side interruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Consequently, the federal government has emphasized the need to strengthen epidemic preparedness in the country ensure proactiveness, and invest in a resilient health system to prevent, detect, and respond to future pandemics. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Patey, who stated this yesterday at the Public Health Symposium on Lessons on Pandemic Preparedness and Response. Insights from China and Nigeria and Abuja noted that in recent years, we've seen from HIV/AIDS, which has been a pandemic that has been with us for a very long time, to new viruses like Nipah virus, to SARS in 2003, to other viruses like Ebola, Zika, to COVID-19 and others that are yet to come. Patey lamented that the impact of these pandemics, when they occur, ultimately disrupt the course of human civilization, adding that the global community is still experiencing some of the impacts from COVID-19 if the pandemic itself had stopped because of the interconnected nature of our world. He submitted, pandemics are not only a public health issue, but they are also matters of economic security as well. Outbreaks start, they get to epidemics, and then they ultimately, if uncontrolled, get to pandemics. But pandemics do not start overnight. For more insight into the story, please check the Guardian newspaper with the headline, Federal Government Opts on Epidemic Preparedness, Resilient Health System.
Now on Vanguard newspaper, I have U.S. lawmaker wants over Plateau Kaduna killings. The detail says, United States Congressman Riley Moore warned yesterday that continued attacks on Christians in Nigeria could strain diplomatic relations with the United States, following reports of a deadly Palm Sunday killings in Jos, Plateau State and Kaduna State. Recall that no fewer than 40 persons were killed by gunmen suspected to be terrorists on Sunday night at Angwa Rukuba community in Jos North local government area of Plateau State and Kai village in Kagako local government area of Kaduna State, while 27 were killed at Rukuba community in Plateau. 13 wedding guests were mowed down by the attackers in Kaduna. The police in Plateau, however, said only 14 persons were killed in the attack that marred Palm Sunday in the community. This came as the University of Jos, UniJos, yesterday rescheduled examinations earlier scheduled for the day and today as a result of the attack, as Plateau State chapter of Jamaatul Nasrul Islam (JNI) described the deadly attack as a major setback to peace efforts in the state. For details, please grab the Vanguard newspaper.
Court orders remand of suspected Lagos rail vandal. Detail says the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) has arrested and secured the remand of a suspected railway vandal in Lagos State in what authorities described as a continued crackdown on the destruction of critical rail infrastructure. The suspect, identified as 32-year-old Bashiru Hafiz, was apprehended on Thursday, March 26, 2026 by security personnel. He was reportedly found in possession of 15 pandrol clips, iron fasteners, essential for holding rail tracks in place, believed to have been removed from the narrow gauge corridor in the Alago Meji area. Railway officials warned that the removal of such components poses significant safety risk, including the potential for train derailments. Following his arrest, Hafiz was handed over to the Nigerian Railway Police Command for investigation and prosecution. He has since been arraigned before a Lagos court and remanded at the Ikoyi Correctional Center, and the case adjourned till April 24, 2026. And that is all we'll be able to take this morning on the Daily Rundown. Do join us tomorrow as we take you through the stories making headlines in the Nigerian dailies. My name is Oluwadolapo Bamigboye.
And I am Omotolani Dari.
Good morning.
We are the voice, the